Harmonic purpose, finding your why. The greatest burden that a man can bear is a life without meaning. Carl Jung. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. Friedrich Nietzsche. When you give meaning, you can endure anything. Viktor Frankl. These profound words speak to the very core of human existence. People who feel they have a purpose, a reason for being, live longer, healthier, wealthier, and more fulfilling lives. And it doesn't matter what that purpose is, whether it's grand or seemingly mundane, as long as it resonates with your soul. Medical studies confirm that having a sense of purpose can lead to longer life, better blood pressure control, fewer cardiovascular events, improved functional status of older adults, reduced chronic inflammation, slower aging, increased willpower and stamina, more energy, better sleep, less depression, less anxiety, and greater happiness and fulfillment. Now, finding your purpose doesn't have to involve some grand, earth-shattering mission. You don't have to be trying to dismantle the world's broken medical system and replace it with an entirely new medical philosophy. Gee, I wonder what that's like. It can be as simple as loving your family and friends, being there for your community, or finding joy in the everyday moments. Seeing how many people you can uplift. As we've talked about this whole time, those are the most powerful healing things there are. And when you are living an inspired life, your purpose will find you. As Anita Moorjani beautifully puts it, quote, "We don't have to go in search of our mission or purpose. The more we search for it, the more it eludes us. We just have to be ourselves and find joy in the present moment, or do what calls us in the present moment, and our mission will unfold." So the advice is to start to seek joy, pure connection to who you really are, and share it with the world. Let's see if science has anything to say about how we can amp it up more and give our lives more purpose. The gift of giving. One of the most powerful ways to discover and cultivate purpose is through service to others. Volunteering, for example, offers a double dose of benefit. It gives you a sense of purpose and strengthens your social connections. They trained subjects to give therapeutic massages to babies 1 to 3 months old and gave massages 3 times a week. They found that giving the massages resulted in lower cortisol levels and less feelings of anxiety and depression than those receiving them. The University of Michigan analyzed the data of 340 adults to determine if volunteering had any effect on cortisol levels. They discovered that on days the participants volunteered, their cortisol levels were lower than on days they did not volunteer. The researchers suggested that volunteering could be used as an intervention for people in stressful situations. Volunteering in the service of others amongst 55 and over was associated with a 24% lower mortality risk. Participants who did at least 100 hours of volunteering per year, roughly 2 hours a week, had a significant reduced risk of physical functioning limitations. High volunteers, giving their time to 2 charitable organizations, had a 44% lower mortality risk than non-volunteers. 300,000 spouses who volunteer to serve others do have a lower mortality risk, but their non-volunteering spouses who slept in the same bed, ate the same food, and hung out with the same friends do not get the same longevity benefit. The subjects who volunteered for at least 200 hours over the previous year, roughly 4 hours per week, were 40% less likely to develop high blood pressure compared to non-volunteers. 73 subjects were given $40 by researchers and told to either spend it on themselves or on someone else over a 6-week period. Those that were assigned to spend it on others had significantly lower blood pressure at the end of 6 weeks than those that were told to spend it on themselves. According to these researchers, giving was just as good as blood pressure lowering medications. The biggest predictor of blood pressure spikes wasn't whether or not the subject was tightly wound, like a stress ball. The better tell was self-absorption. Volunteering to serve others is associated with a big bag of mental goodies. Not only reduced depression, but better self-reported health and better general functioning, and also better smarts related to preserved cognitive ability. If you want to protect yourself against Alzheimer's, volunteer. They took 159 adults and put them in groups to perform acts of kindness for 4 weeks in one of 3 ways: towards specific others, towards the world in general, and towards caring for oneself. Only one group showed reduced inflammation markers, and that was the ones caring for a specific people in their lives. Researchers tested the Be Good to Yourself advice for depression on 47 high schoolers for a year. One group focused on self-indulgence, the Live to Party group, while the other group focused on giving to others, the Live to Give group. After the year, the Live to Give teens had significantly lower depression, and the Live to Party group's depression actually increased. If you're depressed, volunteering is the way to go, not being nice to yourself. Giving money does not work. Time-giving behavior does. Compared to those with the strongest sense of purpose, those with the least purpose in life had double the risk of death over the study period. In other words, volunteering is one of the best ways to increase social health, increase your sense of purpose, and increase your health and lifespan. And it's free. And yes, trauma is reduced by increasing volunteering and increasing your life purpose. Children with ACE scores who are given compassionate training have a reduction in inflammation markers, a correlate to all disease. The all-encompassing trauma is affected by life purpose too. So embrace your purpose in life. Add volunteering time each week. Follow what brings genuine joy into your heart and allow purpose to unfold naturally. And with that, let's move on and explore the final harmonic hurdle: philosophy.